Okay, let's see here. Facebook, Instagram. What's up, y'all? It's been a minute. I ain't been online. I ain't been doing live streaming and nothing like that in a while. I actually ain't even been doing too much on the podcast right now. But you know what I'm saying. What's up? How's everybody doing, man? I ain't been doing too much of nothing, man. I had a couple guests that was supposed to be on with me last week. Who I had supposed to be on with me. They're gonna be on with me. I had to reschedule. I had Killer Kev supposed to be on with me. I wasn't feeling good that day. I had to, so I rescheduled with him. Killer Kev was gonna be on with me, and who else? Young Ryder from at the Hunter Fire Records camp. He's an artist on Hunter Fire Records. Young Ryder. He's gonna be one of my guests also. I had to reschedule because I wasn't feeling good last week. It wasn't COVID-19 or nothing like that. It was I went and I did my antibodies test and I did like the physical. So when I went and did that, what they had they had they took like 7 vials of my blood. So I was all fucked up. I was fucked up for about 3 or 4 days from that shit. That's a lot of blood, and the body has to reproduce. So I was kind of fucked up. But at the same time, though, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna be rescheduling that, and I'm gonna have Young Ryder on from Hunter Five Records from the Hunter Five Records label, and also I'm gonna have Killer Kev on. There's gonna be two of my upcoming guests. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like shit. I just been relaxing lately. You know what I mean? Trying to take it slow. And you know what I mean? Recovery's been kind of good for me. You know what I mean? COVID-19 is crazy, but at the same time, though, it is like myself personally. I've been trying to just do the best I can because of the fact that being that they're studying it, they don't have actual, what's the word I want to use? They studying it, so they don't have actual they don't have, and they researching this. They don't have no facts and proof on it, but they talking about after effects and stuff like this here, and I be having effects like headaches and sometimes chest pains and stuff like that there. So they still, so I'm still, you know what I mean, in the stage of understanding where it is, where I'm at with this and what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, though, I'm also, getting over it because the worst of it is over. You see what I'm saying? And that's the good thing about it. Shit, I ain't in the hospital. I ain't on a ventilator. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy, I was on Facebook seeing the homeboy Lee from the hood, from the Dubs. He just did a gang of time, and I seen he was on there. Facebook said he's in the hospital with COVID-19 now. Man, cold thing. You know what I mean? I got to send my best out, send my wishes out to him, man, to get well, man, because that's nothing to mess with, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, it's kind of crazy because of the fact that they in the research phase of this here, and the way that they're studying it, it's like that's all they doing. They just studying it, man. We don't have too much as far as actual knowledge of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Can everybody hear me? Is my audio all right? I had to turn the audio down on my computer so it don't make a lot of noise. But yeah, like I say though, it's like they're still studying it. You know what I'm saying? Beverly Taylor said very well said. What's up, Beverly? How you doing? Yeah, I guess so. I guess it was very well said. Long way said ain't been on in a minute. Hope all is well with you, Damu. Yeah, everything good with me, man. I just been tied up in a million different things, man. I'm all over the place, man. Life is a long journey, man. So there's a whole lot going on. So you know what I mean. I'm up and around. That's one thing about me, man. You know what I mean. I'm not one of them people that lay around on my back and be tired and sick and all that. There, I'm in traffic, so I got to be on the move every day, man. I got to be making something happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me. You know what I'm saying? What it say? Real Valley Baby number 5 said, "How are you feeling today, OG?" I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling real good, man. You know what I mean? I can't complain, man. You know what I mean? I see Ron Kime East podcast. I see they joined. All right, y'all. Shout out to Ron Kine East podcast. You know what I'm saying? I'm just relaxing, you know what I mean, taking it slow. You know what I'm saying? Raymond Chapman. Okay, I see my brother. That's my older brother right there, Raymond Chapman. I see he just signed in. What's up, K Ray? What it be like, homie? You know what I'm saying? Well, I've been like just sitting back watching the news and just tripping off the world. You know, that's what I do, y'all. You know, I'm one of the type of people. I wake up in the morning watching the news, and I go to sleep at night watching the news. I'm trying to stay out of the streets, and at the same time, I'm trying to keep my ass out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that I find myself to be more at peace when I'm at home or just doing what it is that I got to do. You know, something they told me a long time ago, man, trouble easy to find, but it's hard to get out of, man. You know what I'm saying? So myself personally, I'm not out trying to look for it, and it's just being out in the streets, man. Trouble finds you, but at the same time, you know what I mean. I've just been taking it real slow, man. You know what I'm saying? Staying in my own lane. You know what I'm saying? Cody High Rolling Sutton said, West Rolling, big homie, glad to see you still strong. Stay blessed. Hey man, I'm doing my best, homie. You know what I mean, man. Hey man, the reality of it all is that, man, you know, I take care of myself, man, and try my best to stay in good health. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I can do, you know. And it's like as we progress, you know what I mean? I just turned 53 the other day, man. And I'm thankful. You see what I'm saying? Because of the fact that, you know, a lot of people didn't get to this milestone. At the same time, you know what I mean? I got to think about all of the good people that I lost that died in their teens, in their 20s, in their 30s, even in their 40s, and some even in their 50s, man. So, you know, I got to be thankful. You know what I'm saying? And I always remember them people. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that it's like, man, the world we living in, man, is something else, man. Smokey, what that says, Smoke G 1016 said it's crazy here in the Shy. I hope you feeling okay. Yeah, I'm all right, man. Hey, I've been reading the news about what's been going on in Chicago, man. I heard the feds was coming in. They said Donald Trump was sending the feds in there. That was last week, man. You know, I mean, it's kind of wild, man. You know, to think, man, how the way the rate is with violence, man, and the homicide rate, man. And it's really bad because of the fact that, you know, we get down to it like shit, 90 to 99.9% of this is black on black crime. You know what I mean? And that's the bad thing about it. I mean, it's crazy, man. Okay. Cody High Rolling Sutton said, what you think about the inmates that took over the prison in Georgia? Drop some knowledge. Says, stay in the crib, don't go anywhere unless absolutely. Well, that's what I'm doing, man. I ain't going. My motor in my truck just went out yesterday, man. So I'm out right now. I'm out every day. I'm looking for me another vehicle, even though I got a side vehicle that I drive. You know what I mean? I got a secondary vehicle I drive, which is my work van. I'm out here looking for me another truck. But fortunately, I'm able and capable of having something to drive. But in the meantime, you know what I mean? That's the only thing I'm going out for. Other than that, I'm going out there to earn me some money or something. You know what I mean? Make some legal money. You know what I mean? To come back in and, hey, call it a day. But at the same time, for what I've been hearing about in Georgia, I read an article. I also saw some videos, some Facebook videos about that, right? And from my perspective of what's going on in the prisons and what took place, that was a Ward State prison, if I'm not mistaken. In doggone it. Or was it Ware State Prison? Excuse me, not Ward. If I'm not mistaken, it was Ware State Prison in Georgia. I forget what part of Georgia it was in. But I saw some video that was posted to Facebook. At the same time, I also read something in the news about it, and I saw some news clips on YouTube about it. And it was just the interesting thing to me about that, man, is that it's like those type of things be brewing, man, because of the fact that in order for the inmates to take over the prison, man, and rebel against the system the way that they did, then we got to figure out for what reason did this happen. Things like this don't just happen. The rebellions that take place in prison will always take place because of the fact that there's a means and a way of a level of oppression taking place. And that can be, that level of oppression can be by way of, healthcare. Let's say like right now we got the COVID-19 going around, man. You know what I mean? For all we know, people might be out there on a level like, man, you know, they're not getting proper care, and they might be housing people with the virus, with people without the virus, and contaminating everybody. We don't know. I'm just speculating as I'm speaking. I'm not being factual. So I'm just speaking like that because I'm speaking of just on means and ways of being oppressed. There's a lot of different ways. I've been hearing from people down in Georgia and in prisons, man. and they've been telling me about the way that the prisons are down there and the oppression. See, and it's crazy. You know what I mean? See, it's not like, well, it's not like California. California got a different system, man, and it's crazy, man, because the California system is kind of, our system is kind of wild. Well, in our system, man, they got guns everywhere. The only where they got gun towers on every yard. The only place that they don't got guns at is like a level 1 or level 2, unless you go to a level 2 medium B. But level 1 and level 2 don't have guns. Don't have guns. I was, my last time in prison, I was in Susanville. I was in California Correctional Center, which is Susanville State Prison. And up there, they had it was a medium B yard I was on, which is like a secure level 2. And they had a gun tower in the middle of the yard. But on a lot of those level 1s and level 2s, see, I'm thinking this is dorm living more than likely what they're talking about, because of the fact that from the prisons I've been to, you talk about trying to do a takeover. They got gun rails indoors where the gunman has access to run up to the cell and fire shots into your cell, because you can be in a cell and you can be in your cell in a lot of prisons, and across from the walkway, across from where your tier is at, there might be what we call a gun rail, which is like a walkway for the gunman, so he can walk down and look into every cell. And this is on the more higher custody yards, like level 4 yards. So I can't imagine what those yards would be like. But at the same time, I could imagine that's got to be crazy. They said that what was it? 4 people got hurt in there. 2 inmates was shot and two guards were hurt. Something of that nature. So I mean, there was a rebellion, but it wasn't that bad, thankfully. And thankfully, nobody died. Because of the fact that, see, the reality of this is that even though we get to what it is and people get to rebel and fight for what the causes are, man, shit, people start dying. Then you start talking about shit, maybe the rest of your life sitting up in the same places that you hate to be in right now. And if you are subjected to be in this place for so long, and you're subjected to be in this place for the rest of your life, that's just a waste, man. You know what I mean? But then at the same time, I do understand, because of the fact that, like I said, I've been to prison 5 times. So shit, I've been in prisons when they started hunger striking and all kind of other shit. So you know what I'm saying? I understand exactly. You know what I mean? And by the way, y'all support my content, www.maddronaldradio.net. That's my podcast website. Facebook. Don't forget Madd Ronald Radio Network podcast on Facebook, Madd Ronald Radio Vision on YouTube. At the same time, y'all don't forget my personal page is Madd Ronald Rolling on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Y'all log in, y'all support the content. You know what I'm saying? When this video is over with, y'all will be able to catch it in those spaces anyway. But like I was saying though, man, you know what I mean? They said 2 guards were killed by inmates. The National Guard came in and killed 3 inmates. Oh, really? They didn't put that in the news. That was Jaquise Aldridge said that on over here on what was that on YouTube. I didn't know that from the news that I read, they didn't say nothing about any murders. But locally they probably talk about it, but it's not in the national news because they don't want to make it seem as big as what it was. And that sounds crazy, you know what I mean? Because of the fact that, man, you just think about the shit that's going on in the prisons, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. And I'm gonna be honest and truthfully real, man. When I was young, prison seemed like a means and a way to validate your manhood because of the fact that everybody talked about it. You know what I mean? At the same time, everybody that went to prison, they came back and they poisoned the minds of the young by simply, coming back glorifying being in those places. Reality is that they could only speak of things like that because that was all that they knew. There is no validation and glory in going to prison. And I'm telling y'all that right now. You go to prison, your ass is living in a motherfucking 8x10 cell with another man with one toilet with no motherfucking cover. At the same time, your ass is just there. But the point I'm making when I say this is that if you want to spend some time in an institution, go to a motherfucking college somewhere. Spend some time in an institution of education somewhere. Go to a HBCU. Go to one of these major universities. Because we ourselves, the stupid thing about us is that we validate the wrong bullshit. We go to prison and we come back and we're celebrated. But we have our people that come up and work their asses off and get into these universities, and they come back and they're ignored. You see what I'm saying? It's ass backwards. A homie will come out of prison, we will take him to the motherfucking swap meet. We will take him, to the mall. We will buy him whatever, buy him a car, give him money. But a homie come out of prison, we won't give him a motherfucking thing. And that's crazy because we celebrate the wrong things to the extent to where what we need to be celebrating is we need to be celebrating the success, because the people that's coming up out of these colleges, they coming out with the information and education that we need in order to succeed. They coming about with the shit that's going to take us to the next level. See, when we speak of things like war is economical now. It's not physical. You see what I'm saying? I believe that COVID-19 makes me believe it might be biological. You know what I mean? The way that the shit hit me. But at the same time, though, what I have to express when I say that is that we got people that are coming out of these prisons, man, with great levels of information and knowledge that have to take that information and knowledge to other places when they would wish to be able to come and share it with their people. They wish to be able to come out and assist and be black entrepreneurs and do whatever else it takes in order to enrich the life we live in within our own communities. You know what I'm saying? But they got to take it elsewhere because us in the community, we ignore that shit. We don't want to hear about somebody that just came out of a university and got an AA, a BA, a master's, a PhD. We don't want to hear that shit. But we celebrate a motherfucker that comes out with a prison record. You know what I mean? Motherfucker just did 10 years on him up for a robbery. We celebrate that. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. You know what I mean? Okay, over here on YouTube, Smoke G 10110. Yeah, excuse me, fucking up your name. Smoke G 1016 says, "Have you written a book yet?" No, I haven't written a book yet, man. I'm finna start back working on it, man, because of the fact that I need to. You know what I mean? And I'm starting to realize that there's a great demand because people are constantly asking me. I had started. And I lost a lot of my material because when I started writing, I ended up going back to prison. So when I went back to prison, I lost everything that I had. And I'm gonna start back working on a book. See, but when I write my book, I'm not writing an autobiography because of the fact that I don't want to write another Western. Everybody writes these books about the old life. Everybody writes books about how everybody either died or went to prison. I want to write a book, man, to be able to do something that's going to uplift our people and enlighten them. That's the type of shit that I want to be able to write. I want to be able to write from my past experience, but be able to give somewhat of a forethought so that we can see what's in front of us. So that now when that obstacle comes, we don't glorify it. We get the fuck out of the way of it and we keep moving forward so that we can reach our goals. See what I'm saying? I don't want to write a book in a story where everybody dies in the end. At the end of my book, I want everybody to be prosperous. I want everyone to be in a position where they can take care of their families. They can get up and go to work every day and not be in the line of fire. That is what my goal is. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. You know what I'm saying? Bo Chapo says, "Stone Love, man, this is bogus." What's up, bogus? Stone Love, homie. Yeah, man, but like I say, though, it's like, it's a whole nother element because of the fact of the world we live in. Smoke G 1016 said, "I read your boy Loco book, Home of the Body Bags, and he had mentioned you in there. It was a really good book." Yeah, Loco's a good writer, man. I used to talk to Loco about writing because I had seen some stuff that Loco did. Went to prison a long time ago. Loco went to San Quentin, man, when he was young, man. Loco did a long time in prison when he was really young. And I used to talk to him all the time about his writing because I didn't realize how good a writer he was until one day I was reading the newspaper and I saw something that he wrote. And when I realized how good a writer he was, man, I was telling him, man, that he should be writing a book. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he has great talent, and some people don't possess that talent. Some people don't know how to draw pictures with words, and it's very important that these stories are told. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I say, the thing about writing is that now the way I'm looking at the state of Black America, the fastest growing movements within our culture is three movements. It's the Bloods, it's the Crips, and it's Black Lives Matter. Now, myself personally, I consider myself to be a pro-Black conscious blood. You see what I'm saying? by saying that and by being that, what I mean by that is that I look at the world on a level to where, you know what I mean, I'm a blood. I'm what I am. I'm already a member of a movement, so I can't join other movements. I can't join up with everybody's gang. I can't do a bunch of different things. But from the space that I'm in, I can improve where I'm at. Meaning that for all the negativity, I possess the ability to do some good. And then at the same time, I credit that to being who I am from where I'm from. So I credit that whatever I do to being a blood. You see what I'm saying? And Darren Kenny said, "What's up, homie? 20 love. Tall dog, what's up, homie? What it be like, man?" I see Ty Bud done joined in too, Mr. TB. What's up, Ty Bud? What it be like, homie? Yeah, but like I say though, you know what I mean? My thing is that they go, I see it. Okay, I see over here Bennett Wilson joined in. Cartoon, what's up, homie? Those are my loved ones right there, man. But like I say though, my thing is that I see all these movements and I see how fast they're growing, right? The thing about it is that we ourselves, man, have to think about what it is that we need to do in order to improve the means. First and foremost, we got to stop the killing, so because we're killing each other at such a rapid rate that we got to understand what the fuck is killing us, killing more black people right now. I'm wondering, COVID-19 or black people? You see what I'm saying? And then at the same time, you know what I'm saying, what I see is TB the Great. They say, "What's up, homie? What's up, man? I just seen, now you done jumped over to Facebook. I just seen you on Instagram, Ty Bud." What's up, Ty Bud? But like I'm saying to y'all, man, the thing about this is interesting to me right now. It really, I look at, like I said, I was saying earlier, I find myself, man, my description of my stance in this, I'm a pro-black conscious blood, right? And when I say that, what I mean by that is that I'm not a member of a gang. I don't call myself a gang member, a gang banger. I don't call myself any of that bullshit what these young kids go by. I'm 53 years old. I'm a grown-ass man. But blood is my history and my culture. So by blood being my history and by blood being my culture, that means that I myself personally have something that I have so much time invested in, so much time being a part of, that I have to be someone that is a little more aware. But at the same time, let me show y'all something. We got other people getting caught up in other shit that is kind of interesting too. Because you know what I mean? You got Crips on the same level nowadays, older Crips, and they saying, well, you know, they're consciously black and all this here. Because of the fact that when we get to the meat of this, all of this here, homie, I don't give a fuck if it's red or it's blue. It all turns out to be black in the end. And that's just the way it works. But I'm gonna show y'all something too now. Now we got Black Lives Matter, which Black Lives Matter is cool. And I'm cool with Black Lives Matter. I support Black Lives Matter simply because of the fact that I support anything that is 100% consciously black and for the enhancement of the quality of life of black people. But I'm gonna share with you the thing about me is that I'm not a Black Lives Matter. Well, I can say I halfway support Black Lives Matter. Because Black Lives Matter, man, I went to a Black Lives Matter meeting. I used to go to their meetings in LA, right? And if anybody don't know, because I hear black people hollering Black Lives Matter. I know it's a cool slogan, but you have to have an understanding that what it represents. Black Lives Matter represents black people, but they've incorporated the agendas of the LGBTs and all these other motherfucking misfits into the fold also. I remember when I was going to the Black Lives Matter meetings when they were saying, say your name and your PGP, which is your preferred gender pronoun. So now you're standing here, they got men in here saying, my name is such and such. And at the same time, they're saying, but my PGP is her, miss, she. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? To where I'm like, well, more power to you. But that's not me because of the fact that considering the means and the ways that I remember growing up, I grew up on a level to where, you know what I mean, black men were black men. So you know what I mean? I also grew up on a level of life where black men don't compromise within their sexuality. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, I guess Black Lives Matter is doing good work because of the fact that their voices are being heard. But this is the thing about these movements to have an understanding of. And people get shot in the neighborhoods. And what people start saying is, where is Black Lives Matter now? Where's the marching at? Where's all this other shit at, right? Let me share something with y'all about that. And take this into consideration and understand this here. Everybody has a responsibility within their own communities to bring about whatever is needed in order to incorporate peace and civility in their own communities. Then that I say this because of the fact that when we talk about things like Black Lives Matter, that's only an external movement. Listen to what I just said. That is an external movement. You see what I'm saying? And what I mean by external, this is what I mean when I say an external movement. Black Lives Matter is a movement that captures the attention of the media. It is a movement that captures the attention of the politicians and the powers that be within a system of white supremacy. But there is no militant arm within Black Lives Matter. There is no aggression within Black Lives Matter. Because if you get down to the meat of it, a white man finances it. And I'm not speaking down on Black Lives Matter, not at all. I'm not criticizing at all. Like I said, I'm down with anything that is for the enhancement and quality of life of Black people. So I'm not speaking down. I'm just saying this for awareness, because people aren't aware. It's a catchphrase, and which is a cool catchphrase. I say that too. But I stopped going to the meetings because I was at the meetings and I heard somebody make a statement of something that they said the meeting the phrase that what they said was Black trans lives matter, and I was like, well, that shit turned it. That's not what I'm here for. You see what I'm saying? I'm here for I'm here for the get down. You know what I mean? And like I'm saying, you know, the whole thing about it is that I say it's external. This is why I say Black Lives Matter is external. It captures the attention of the cameras. It captures the attention of the politicians. It captures the attention of law enforcement. It captures the attention of the white supremacist system that has governed the United States for all these years. But this is the thing about Black Lives Matter when I say it's external. And if anybody been paying attention, anybody recognize, anybody realize, the motherfucking murder rate has skyrocketed in Black communities since the marches, since the protests. I've been reading about how many people have been getting killed in Chicago, Washington, D.C., motherfucking New Orleans, Atlanta, Georgia. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers getting killed in Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? Black on black crime is skyrocketing. But this is the thing about this. Once again, Black Lives Matter is external because it is something it is an outside force. The internal forces are what we would call the urban subculture or gangs, the motherfuckers with the guns. We are the internal force. So what that means is that it is up to motherfuckers like us to take control of our communities and have the motherfuckers that's doing the shooting put them guns down, because the motherfuckers doing the shooting look up to motherfuckers like us. They do what they think that we think is cool. You see what I'm saying? A lot of motherfuckers don't know how to speak up and talk to young homies. A lot of motherfuckers are scared of their young homies. But you got to, somewhere through here, somebody got to speak up and say, hey, man, that shit ain't cool, or whatever. Somebody need to get out there in the fold and start trying to create some kind of means of mediation and peace and understanding, simply because of the fact that where we stand, it's cool to have a movement for Black people. It is cool to have something where Black people can be conscious and be aware of themselves. But what the fuck is this worth when we all killing ourselves? See, I can't have pride in being a Black man if my fear is a Black man. You see what I'm saying? And that's just the way the world works. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because of the fact that we are the most oppressed. We are the most hated. We are the most hunted, and we are the most wanted. But for some fucking reason, we hate, hunt, and want each other more than anybody else. And that's ass backwards. I would never understand that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Jackie's Aldridge over here on Facebook said, yes, sir, it's a great slogan, but organization can't be trusted. Gay movement controls them. Right. That's just what I just said. I went to the meeting and it was a lot of LGBTs up in there. At the same time, George Soros finances them. George Soros is a white man. See, but at the same time with that right there is that level of control, because of the fact that whoever finances this controls the movement. You see what I'm saying? And that's crazy. You know what I mean? Wavy B27 said, I don't think they should be afraid of their own creations. Am I right? Well, you mean like Black people? the thing about it is that you got to be, the thing about black people being afraid of black people is the fact that black people, and I'm not going to buy into the bullshit where people going to start saying, well, it took 400 years for us to get this way, and we're not going to change in 2, 3, 4 weeks. Motherfucker, you have children that live in these fucked up communities that are fucking war zones. You better get out in the streets and start trying to do something before you fuck around and one of your own children end up being a victim of this. And the shit is realistic. The worst thing in the world as a parent that you want is to be the parent of a murdered child. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to lose one of your own fucking kids to some bullshit, because then you're really going to be outside marching and protesting and doing everything else, and you might be out in the street with a motherfucking gun out there trying to kill them, trying to look for the motherfuckers that did the shooting. So you know what I'm saying? And that's just a reality right there. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me see. Chaos underscore been out. Chaos been outside said, "What's up, dog? What's up, homie?" You know what I'm saying? Wavy B said, "The homies shouldn't be afraid to put some sense into their little homies' heads." But this, I agree. But this is the thing about that when I speak about big homies that be scared of the little homies. Also, the validation that a lot of OGs have is through utter ignorance. See, understand this. It's easy to be in the streets and act a goddamn fool. It's easy to be in the streets and act like a goddamn idiot. It's easy to be in the streets, homie, and act like you own one. But it's hard as a motherfucker to be at home taking care of a family. It ain't easy to get up and go to work every motherfucking day and do what you need to be doing as a man. See, that part of life is hard as a motherfucker, right? You can deny your responsibilities and be about your bullshit. But if you're about your bullshit, that means that you're lacking somewhere. See what I'm saying? And this is what is important among us as a black people. And I'm serious about that now. And I always tell people, the way I speak, people don't expect to hear me talk the way I talk because of the fact that I'm a blood. So you don't expect to hear blood talk like this here. And I'm 100%, you know what I mean, still a part of the fold. You know, I told the homies, I had explained to the homies before, I said, man, I'm still active. I'm just not active in a destructive manner. I'm active in a productive and constructive way now, because somebody has got to be the light that leads our people out of the fucking darkness. Somebody has got to be here to enlighten and educate. And that's the fucking thing about this here, man. That's the reality of this here, man. What they say, Benedito Angelo Zoe says, we are being identified and targeted. The ones with influence are being manipulated and taken out for stand up. Leaders need more affirmative action supporters, not scared just enough to step up and front line with them. You're right about that. The thing about the people with the voices, what they did was that when they actually abolished things like the Panthers, after the civil rights movement, the pro-black movements that took place in the 60s and all this here, the one thing they did was they attacked leadership. They implemented things like distrust among the leaders. See, it's hard for somebody to stand up now and be a leader because of the fact that the first thing they're going to do is they're going to come and hit you with the RICO Act. You see what I'm saying? They're going to tell you that they're going to get you for racketeering, influence, corrupt organization. I think it is some shit like that there. Racketeering, influence, corruption, corrupt organization. I forget what it is exactly. But they coming to you with some bullshit like that. You can be simply in the community if, watch this, you are too powerful if you can control the guns in your community. Don't never forget what I just said, y'all. If you can control the guns in your community, you are too motherfucking powerful. And what I mean by controlling the guns in your community, I don't mean sending motherfuckers out to kill every day. I don't mean sending drive-by parties out to go claim bodies. I don't mean going out to rob motherfuckers every day and hurt people. What I mean by controlling the guns in your community is that you yourself have the ability to tell the young people, to tell the gunners, to tell the killers, put the guns down, homie. Let's do some other shit. Let's make this shit work another way. Let's try some shit like let's try some resolution and mediation instead of, you know what I mean, taking the shit to these other levels. Let's take this on a more reactionary level than a retaliatory level. You see what I'm saying? We can react to this by having a peace talk. We can react to this by coming up with a non-aggressive agreement. You see what I'm saying? These are the things that are needed and necessary within our own communities. But this is all internal. This is why when I speak of things like Black Lives Matter, I say they're external. Now, this is what needs to be taking place. While they're doing that outside and they marching a million motherfuckers, cool. But we need to be in the hood doing our fucking thing too, marching, talking to the motherfuckers that we know that have the influence and have the fucking guns. We need to be talking to them because what we need to be doing is we need to give them an understanding of the fact that what we need is peace and civility among ourselves. How the fuck can we defund the police when we got to call the police because they shooting on our block and we can't go outside? You see what I'm saying? Our kids got to go to school, but the school is in a goddamn war zone. Somebody got to police that shit. You know what I mean? Everybody talk that shit about funding of the what's the word they said? Defund the police department. Yeah, right. Defund the motherfucking police department. Who the fuck gonna police all these crazy motherfuckers with guns? I'm not pro-police neither. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I got good damn sense. And I myself also, if it come down to it, I know how to defend myself. I ain't gonna sit here and speak on if I got a gun or not. But at the same time, I know we all are related to civilians and they can't do what we might be able to do for ourselves. And we can't be everywhere defending everybody at the same time. So you know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, when we get down to the meat of it all and we look at this shit here, the greatest predators and victimizers are our own people. And that's the fucking truth. You know what I mean? Smoke G1016 said few Crips or other non-blood members, but they're from the clique. So they will go to war against the other clique just cause they're from or claiming that set. That's the kind what's happening in the shy. But there got to be civility. So the thing, let me explain to y'all something about that, man, and this warfare and shit that's going on. And don't never forget this here. Back in the 80s, these motherfuckers talked about a war on drugs. But don't forget this shit here. There was never a motherfucking war on guns because the U.S. government was providing those guns that we had within the community. Right now, we look at crack cocaine and a lot of places like in LA, it ain't what it used to be. The open air drug markets don't exist like they used to. You know what I mean? The value of the shit has dropped tremendously. So it's nothing like it used to be, right? But watch this. They got new drugs out here. And the motherfucking guns are still here. The government is still pumping these fucking guns into our communities. You see what I'm saying? And that's the crazy thing. You know what I mean? Wavy B over here on Instagram said, don't promote violence. He said, I don't promote violence. I promote. Wait, what did he say? He said, I missed it. It went by too fast. But like I was saying to y'all, man, my whole thing with this is that when I'm viewing this here on a grander scale, man, when I'm looking at this shit here for what it truly is, and when I'm seeing it for how this shit really is, see, understand the U.S. government is powerful, man. Them motherfuckers been pumping guns in our communities forever. Where the fuck do an AK-47 come from? A Russian assault rifle. We live in motherfucking communities right here where motherfuckers is living 50% under the poverty level. How the fuck do you get your hands on an assault rifle? You see what I'm saying? That's crazy. Okay, I see KP from Cabbage Patch over there. All right, what's up, homie? What's up, my Paru, homie? You know what I'm saying? So Mo G said, right, you missed the question before that. Wait a minute, man. Wait. I did miss the question, man. You know I'm jumping around. Y'all have to excuse me because of the fact that, okay, Ice Corleone, what's up, homie? I see you, man. Let me tell y'all something, though, about me, man. Y'all have to excuse me right now because I'm going to miss questions and I'm answering a lot of questions because right now I am streaming on Madd Ronald Radio Network podcast page. I'm streaming over Madd Ronald Rolling on my personal Facebook page. I'm at the same time I'm still streaming on YouTube and I'm streaming on Instagram right now. I'm on a bunch of different platforms and I'm on 2 different cameras right now. So excuse me if I miss your questions. I'm not ignoring anybody or nothing like that. It's just that it's a lot. I'm flipping my head back and forth because of the fact that I'm trying to catch the questions as they come by. Sometimes I'm trying to read them, and as other people are sending in questions, they're, you know what I mean, they're rolling on by. So excuse me for that, y'all. I'm not ignoring nobody. And I didn't mean to miss your question, homie. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like I'm saying to y'all, though, man, the thing that we got to understand and take into consideration is the fact that the U.S. government is responsible for so much of this bullshit that's going on right now that we don't even have a realization of this. Let me tell you something, man, and it's real. And I want y'all to do the research, right? I want y'all to do the research on the Central American War that took place in Nicaragua between the Sandinistas and the Contras. Read about how the Reagan administration supported the Contras against the Sandinista government. This is the 1980s. The U.S. Congress, they had stopped funding the war in the Middle East. I mean, excuse me, not the Middle East. Excuse me, I don't mean the Middle East. This is the war in Central America. They stopped funding that war. So what they did was there was this it was like a secret war, like they called it. They called it a secret war. Look up Dark Alliance. Google Ronald Reagan, George Bush, the war in Central America, Nicaragua, the cocaine connection to Los Angeles, and you'll find out that what they were doing when they were flooding the streets of Los Angeles in the 1980s with the cocaine, that crack cocaine, all that murder, all that killing, all them guns and shit that came in here. The finances from all of that there was going back to Central America to fund the war against the Sandinistas. The Contras were supported by the United States of America. This is some shit right here that they don't even talk about. See, we simple ass street motherfuckers, but we don't even realize that we was nationalized on a level of finances because of the fact that our money financed a whole fucking civil war going on in another country on another continent. You see what I'm saying? And my thing with that basically is that to have an understanding of the fact that there is an underlying hand of agitation in this. And when I say it like that, I always tell people the United States themselves agitate so much shit because think about this: all wars must be funded. How much did they fund the war between the Bloods and the Crips? See, think about that. They turned communities in Los Angeles into armed camps. So take into consideration how much funding went into the cocaine, providing the cocaine. How much money was made out of the cocaine? There were millionaires made out of this shit here. How much money? You know, it had to be a lot of money if it funded a fucking war and it bought weapons for the Contras. At the same time, take into consideration, also, they provided us with the drugs. Then at the same time, they criminalized the same motherfucking drugs that they provided us with. See, they made it a felony to get caught with crack cocaine. Remember, the law is 100 to 1, meaning that you can get caught with 4 grams of hard cocaine and you can face a mandatory minimum in federal prison. But you can get caught with 400 grams soft, and it has to be minimum 400 grams soft to go to a federal prison if it's not rock, if it's soft cocaine, right? But the thing about this is that young black males at this time were the ones that they were catching with rock cocaine, because remember something, now our communities were turned into open air drug markets. See what I'm saying? The United States of America, these young black men that live in these ghettos and these communities and these South Central LA, motherfucking West Adams, motherfucking Watts, Compton, wherever the fuck they lived at, right? These young black men were coming in contact with this Colombian cocaine. This Colombian cocaine was being brought to us. Because remember, what the fuck did Nino Brown say? We don't own no planes. So remember that for the dope to get here, you know, the U.S. government, and it's a fact. This is all factual shit right here. Read about Danilo Blandon. You know what I mean? Anybody know about Dark Alliance? Anybody who's seen Crack in the System? Anybody's read about Freeway Rick? They know about all of what I'm talking about. But you can look all this information up because this is all factual information. And the thing that I'm saying is that we ourselves have to have understanding of the fact that the gang wars wouldn't be what they were if it wasn't for government agitation, because we wouldn't have access to these motherfucking automatic weapons and we wouldn't be able to gun each other down the way that we do. Now, they walked away. The government itself You know what I mean? They criminalized this shit here, man, and damn near just walked away, man, and made it seem like we created this here, but we didn't. Read about Oliver North. You see what I'm saying? I mean, read about all this other bullshit. Oliver North. Read about Manuel Noriega. You know what I mean? They was laundering the money through Noriega's banks. You know, all of this shit is coming out now. Read about Gary Webb. You'll find some interesting shit. Simply because of and I bring up all of this here because of the fact that I always tell people, if you're selling cocaine now, you are indirectly a fucking government agent because of the fact that you're financing their operations because the government provides this. See, ain't no young black man, ain't no Bloods and no Crips going on motherfucking Colombia, all the way to Colombia, bringing the fucking drugs back over here. The government got to okay it to get here because of the fact that, think about this here. A motherfucking terrorist plane, boat, anything that is a threat to the U.S. will get blown out of the water or out of the air 1,000 miles above U.S. waters. We're in the most secure place in the motherfucking world. And if you ever trip off of this here, and if you ever really get an understanding of what I'm saying right now, when they did 9/11, they could not sneak into the United States what they needed in order to attack the U.S. They had to internally take U.S. aircraft and turn them into weapons of destruction. So there's no way in the world that they can. You ain't gonna see nobody from another country that's opposing the U.S. that has no rights within our airspace or our water space that's gonna come near the U.S. because they'll blow their asses out the water. They'll blow them out the sky. You see on the news they talk about motherfuckers flying in each other's airspace or in the water in the wrong places. You know what I mean? And they're very territorial. No matter what, this shit goes on and nobody can make it here. But the dope man makes it every fucking day. That shipment got to get here. You see what I'm saying? And that's real. You know what I mean? Keith Cedric. All right. My KP said Colombian Coke through the direct connect. You're right. See, now watch this, KP. You old as me and you understand because of the fact that you know I'm not lying. You've been in that system and you already have an understanding. I already know you've been up in the system and you've been there with the guys, and this is much bigger than anything that we ourselves have an understanding of. You know what I mean? It's like cocaine popped out, crack cocaine popped up out of nowhere. But that shit didn't come from nowhere. There was somebody that did a study on this shit here. Wasn't even a demand for that shit when it hit us. But at the same time, there was a motherfucker that had the sense to say, fuck that, we can send that right here. They studied us. We were lab rats. The motherfucker came to an understanding of the fact that, okay, we got two opposing groups here. We'll make everybody work for us. We'll put both these groups together because of the fact that they got numbers, they're hungry, they need money. When the Republican administration had taken over under Ronald Reagan and under Bush, Reagan eliminated anything that we had in the community that was beneficial to supplementing income, any programs, anything like that that would enhance the quality of life for the people that lived in our communities. See, Jimmy Carter, when he was in administration, Carter provided us with certain things. You know what I mean? Job training and stuff like that there. They had things like the CETA program, shit like that there, where you can go to work young and maintain and keep going to work for these same jobs in the summer, fuck around and land a full-time job with this by the time you get out of school because of the fact that this is the kind of systems they had. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when we get down to it all, when the Republicans came into office, they eliminated all of that shit there. When the Republicans came into office, we were starving. Any motherfucking thing that they had that we could utilize in order to eat, then that's what we had. Now, the thing about all of this here, when I speak of this, is the fact that when they did that, somehow cocaine was introduced to us. With the introduction of crack cocaine came the the change of the world. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. You know what I mean? Wavy B27 over here on Instagram said the U.S. Army Chemical Corps is responsible for all of the chemically estrogen enhanced marijuana allowed that people are smoking now. I know. Let me tell you something about marijuana, homie. I don't smoke no more. I stopped smoking marijuana in 2007. I was in prison. I was actually getting high. Well, I was actually getting high when I stopped getting high. We were smoking blunt. We were smoking weed in there. The homie had brought some weed in, and I was sitting there smoking weed, and I had something hit me, and I said, I'm done. I don't even want no more of this shit, man. I'm done. I'm through with this shit. You know what I mean? But this is the thing about it. The government's regulating the marijuana. How the fuck can the government regulate the marijuana? I don't trust nothing that the government regulates. It's bad enough I got to eat the goddamn food that the government regulates. And these motherfuckers put all these steroids and hormones and preservatives and all this shit here for some goddamn reason. They kill a cow to feed a man, but the cow that they killed to feed that man ends up killing the man. So shit like that, man. I mean, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? We got to have an understanding, man, of what it is that the government is tough here, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. And I'm being theoretical right now, but in my opinion, COVID-19 is some shit. There's some biological shit. Now I don't believe that came from our government. I believe COVID-19 was an attack that came from China. Because if you ever notice right now, man, Donald Trump got a fucking dislike for China that's ridiculous. But I believe it's some shit going on that's higher up above our heads that can't be talked about. You see what I'm saying? And it's kind of crazy, man, to even think about, because when we actually look at this for what it truly is, man, and we talk about this for what it truly is, man, and we think about this shit here, right? The thing about this here, man, is crazy to me, man, is the fact that, man, this shit hit the United States harder than it hit anyone else in the fucking world. No other country was hit like the U.S., man. And they said the U.S. has 1/4 of the world's what is it? Is 1/4 of the world's population is in the United States of America. And that's a lot of motherfuckers for real. But at the same time, you know what I mean? It's like this here. It hit the U.S. harder than anybody else. You see how hard it hit New York City, man. The shit is still going around and they don't have any control over it right now. They're talking about vaccines and they don't even know what the fuck going on. We can't even trust nothing that the president say because this motherfucker here don't know what's going on. And he's discrediting the motherfuckers that got the information. He talks against the fucking, I've never lived in a space where I seen a motherfucker talk against an expert. The president don't know shit about this shit here. We don't even know if he completed high school. You know what I mean? I heard the motherfucker, his own motherfucking cousin said he cheated on the motherfucking test to get into college. He had another motherfucker take the test for him. But now at the same time, he want to discredit the motherfucking medical expert, the person whose skill it is to have an understanding of health, medicine, and infectious diseases. What kind of shit is that there? You know what I mean? And the president don't know shit. You know what I mean? They're killing people off on a daily basis simply because of the fact that people don't want to enhance the belief that you got to wear a mask. You know what's amazing to me? Herman Cain died. Herman Cain was the dude that ran against Barack Obama. I think it was in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. And he was the black dude that the Republican Party put up in the space. He was the black face. You know Herman Cain wasn't going to win. And you know when they came up with sexual allegations against him, saying he was sexually harassing women. But this is the thing about that, right? The thing about that is crazy is that they knew this all along, because there's no way in the world that they're gonna put a man up against the president of the United States to run for president and not know his whole rundown, not know his whole background. They're gonna do a background check on your ass before your name is even pulled out the hat. You see what I'm saying? But he died last week or the week before last, and I said, damn. I mean, coronavirus is bad, homie. It's out here claiming lives. It's out here taking motherfuckers out, man. You know what I mean? When I had coronavirus, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I thought about how severe it was because of the fact that they were confused. You know what I mean? And the hospitals and the doctors, they don't really have the knowledge of it. They just, you know what I mean, taking to consideration whatever bit of information they've been given based on it. And when I speak like that and I say that, what I mean to say is that, you know, they got an understanding of what might work. I was in the hospital and I had severe COVID-19 and I had pneumonia. And when I went, my lungs felt like they collapsed. My breathing level dropped down to like 40%, and I was getting worse day by day. They came and asked me, would I like to try remdesivir, which is one of the drugs. It's a drug that actually blocks the virus. The way remdesivir works is that remdesivir blocks the virus. See, what a virus does, if anybody has knowledge of what a virus is, right? A virus is something that actually attaches to a cell. The virus replicates itself in the cell and takes over the cell. Then it attaches to the next cell and it does the same thing. And the virus grows. As it grows, it just dominates all the cells. So what remdesivir, because what remdesivir does is remdesivir blocks the virus. So now the virus becomes limited because of the fact that, okay, let us say that, okay, when they gave me the remdesivir, it was actually a trial. This some shit that was a fucking trial. I didn't know that. I know now because of the fact that I understand there were three groups. There's the group they gave remdesivir to, and this is within all these hospitals. There's once you gotta have severe COVID-19 because it's approved by the remdesivir is approved by the FDA for emergency uses only. And it's the group that they give remdesivir to. It's the group that they don't give remdesivir to, and it's the group that they give the placebo to. Okay, now let us say like this here: the group that gets remdesivir actually gets the drug. They actually gave me the drug. Then you got the group that doesn't get the remdesivir, and they want to see what the recovery rate is like, because they want to see the effects of the virus and how strong it will get. I guess you know what I mean. And then there's the placebo, which means that they'll give you the remdesivir and make you think that you're getting it. You know, sometimes I guess I don't understand placebos, but I think that it's something to the extent to where they'll use it as something to make a motherfucker think you're getting well and he'll wish yourself well. But the point I'm making is that the thing about it is the remdesivir actually blocks the virus. So the virus cannot continue to replicate in your cells. So once the virus becomes limited within your body and it can't enter anymore because it's being blocked, it grants the immune system the ability now to overpower the virus. If anybody understands what I'm saying. By means and ways of overpowering the virus, what it does now is allows the body the ability to heal. See, now where I'm at with this now is that I'm in a stage where I just did an antibody test last week. That's why I said I gave 7 vials of my blood and I was sick as a motherfucker last week. But I did an antibody test, and the antibody test that I did was, you know what I mean? They want to test. They want to know, am I immune to it now? They want to test and see, you know, can I catch it again? They also want to know, can they use my antibodies to heal other people that have severe COVID-19? Because of the fact that by using my antibodies, my immune system might be strong enough to the extent to where it has the ability to build like a super antibody because of the fact that it's already dealt with COVID-19. So to the next person, once they produce it, however they produce a vaccine, it will recognize the COVID-19 and attack it from the beginning. Because what makes COVID-19 so bad is that the human body doesn't recognize it. See, I might not ever be able to catch it again because of the fact that since I've had it, my body might recognize it, and my immune system will automatically attack it. That's something that makes a great difference. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thankful to be here, man. Hey, and to everybody, man, like I said, once again, when I was in that hospital, sent your well wishes, your support, your prayers. Thank you. I'm truly appreciative of that. For everybody who sent them birthday wishes, thank y'all. I appreciate that, man. You know what I mean? I'm about to sign out now. But remember this here, man. This is the time right now. I want y'all to start y'all watch parties. I want y'all to like. I want y'all to share. I want y'all to subscribe. I want y'all to follow my content. MaddRonaldRadio.net is the website. Madd Ronald Radio Network podcast on Facebook. Madd Ronald Radio Vision on YouTube. At the same time, my personal page is Madd Ronald Rolling on Facebook, and on Instagram is Madd_Ronald_Rolling. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, you know what I'm saying? I want to wish everybody health, wealth, peace, and prosperity. And I want y'all to have a safe evening, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Don't get out here and get in no trouble. Don't get out here and be in no danger, man. You know what I'm saying? Take care of the family, man. Get home to them if you ain't there with them right now, man. And on that note, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to sign out, man. You know, it's the end of this podcast, man. Madd Ronald out, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, start the watch party right now.